I knew I always wanted to be in financial services, so went to school, knew I wanted to become a financial advisor, graduated, ended up working on a trading desk, ended up doing a few things, and long story short, our trading desk got shut down. So I walked across the hall to a financial planning firm with all my licenses, but no knowledge of anything that was going on. I introduced myself to the office manager, told him my situation, and he basically said, yes, I've got a guy who works with NFL and NBA players. Would you have any interest in doing that? And for a 24, 25-year-old young man, that's your dream. So got involved with that. Meanwhile, my wife is a resident. Her father was the same kind of specialist that she was gonna be, which is a periodontist, so teeth and gum surgery. The thought was she would go to residency during the day, and then at night she would go moonlight with her father along with the weekends and learn how things really worked. Well, sadly, between her first and second year of residency, her father passed away. So we now inherited 2 dental practices, all the side businesses that most doctors like to get themselves into, a mountain full of debt from one of the local banks here in town. And after a while of going back and forth, they decided the solution would be I could sell my book of business and run all these other businesses until things got cleaned up and sold off. When we were done and I was now looking for a new target market, a new niche, our accountant who had helped us settle all this stuff basically grabbed me by the back of the neck and said, look, Todd, one of these doctors who you thought had the world by the throat didn't have the basics covered. He goes, that's who you need to work with. Within dentistry and medicine, really the biggest pain point that we come across are high-earning W-2s. So they make a lot of money, but they can't really take advantage of different write-offs and tax breaks, or they own the practice and they're trying to figure out what to do with any sort of operating income that's left over after they've paid all their bills. Do they reinvest it in the practice? Do they reinvest it in continuing ed and their team, profit share, whatever it may be? A lot of times these successful doctors have a pretty good chunk of change left over at the end of the year, and they're not sure what to do with it. I'm very much about the emotional side of financial planning and the behavioral side. So for me, instead of worrying about is now a good time to buy or sell this ETF, I would rather reach out and talk to a client. I would rather help them get through whatever mental hurdle it is they have, or just talk to them about their business. If you really want to bring a lot of value to a business owner client, like a lot of these doctors are, help them help their business run more efficiently. It's not going to flow through in terms of a percentage return on our statements every month. But if you want to show how valuable you are, that's one of the best ways that you can do it. If I was stuck behind a desk researching all these ETFs and everything, there's no way I would have time to get it all done. Once I hit RFG, that's when things really took off for me. My company has grown exponentially since I've joined RFG. Last year, I was actually lucky enough to win the To the Moon Award, which was the highest growth year over year for the entire company. And the 3 years before that, it's been up substantially as well. So all in all, since I've joined to where I am right now, my assets under management have grown over 400%. My clientele numbers of my target market have more than doubled, and the pipeline is just as rich. What I love about being at RFG is the fact that I am free to run my business the way that I want to run it. I can target who I want, I can operate how I want, I can bring whoever I want on my team, but there is still a full back office, more than a team. I don't know what's bigger than a team, but there's a whole brigade of people who are willing to help us in any specific aspect that we need. Whether it's a technology issue or a marketing issue or a trading issue, compliance issue, whatever it is, all of these people are a very quick phone call or walk down the hall away. And it's really, really comforting to know that we can run our business, but still have the support of this incredible group of people. Going independent, in my mind, is kind of like when a professional head coach tells you they're thinking about retirement. Like once you say it out loud, you're gonna do it. It's just a matter of when. And I know it took me way too long to go through the process, right? And that's just how it had to happen for me. But if anyone else is out there is thinking about it, don't take 4 years, because you're gonna look back at it 4 years later and go, man, what was I waiting on? If you want the freedom, if you want the flexibility, if you want the ability to own your clients and your book and be responsible for it, because at the end of the day, you're the one who's responsible, RFG fits those kinds of people.